Hi, I'm Peter Ashton. Today, let's talk about margin power. Margin accounts let traders borrow money to maximize potential gains, using your investments as leverage so you can invest more when opportunity strikes. Questrade margin accounts have an exclusive feature called margin power, which lets you access more leverage so you can borrow more, invest more, and pursue more returns. Before we get into Questrade's exclusive margin power, it's important to mention the information in this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Questrade's margin power increases the buying power in your margin account by including your TFSA holdings in the calculation, adding up to 70% of your TFSA's value to your margin account's buying power. By using margin power, you get the best of both worlds. You can enjoy your TFSA's tax advantages while leveraging its assets to unlock more buying power in your margin account. The total buying power you get by using margin power is calculated the same as in a margin account. This lets you borrow based on the combined margin requirements, or MR, of the securities you hold in your margin account plus your TFSA. Now, if your TFSA is full of riskier positions, it won't provide as much buying power as it would if it was full of lower risk securities. For example, most securities have a 30% margin requirement, which means you can borrow up to 70% of their value. Riskier securities may have a 50% margin requirement, which means you can borrow up to half. And lastly, penny stocks, option contracts, and OTC stocks usually have a 100% margin requirement, which means you can't borrow against them at all. You can check the MR of each position in any of the Questrade Edge platforms or in the Level 1 quote window for securities you don't own yet. No matter what securities you hold, though, enabling the benefits of Questrade's exclusive margin power is easy. All you need is a Questrade TFSA and margin account to get started. Just log into your web platform, go to Account Management, click Get Margin Power, and follow the on-screen instructions. The following trading day, the extra buying power from the holdings in your linked TFSA will show up in your margin account. If you don't have either account yet, you can open one on your account management page and start taking advantage of margin power. Keep in mind that the extra buying power is tied to your TFSA balance. If your TFSA sees losses, it will lower your available buying power at the start of the next trading day. If your buying power goes negative, it triggers a margin call, which means you're borrowing more than you're allowed. One strategy you can use to prevent this is to make sure you leave a buffer. That means keeping some unused buying power to give you a layer of protection if the value of your investments drop. A few things to keep in mind if you're planning on using margin power. Margin power is exclusively available to Questrade customers and is provided with no extra fees. All you have to consider are the standard interest charges on the money you borrow. You'll still be able to buy and sell as usual in your TFSA. Just remember the buying power is tied to your investment's margin requirements. So buying riskier securities in your TFSA with higher margin requirements may have an impact on your available buying power. Be mindful if you're planning on withdrawing funds from your TFSA. You'll receive a warning if you're trying to withdraw money that would put you in a margin call. But it's still a good idea to be mindful of your withdrawals and make sure they fit your buffer strategy. If you're concerned about adding buying power from a TFSA that's either volatile or that you plan on withdrawing from in the near future, you may want to open a new TFSA. This would let you load the linked TFSA up with stable, long-term securities and use your unlinked TFSA for riskier strategies or short-term savings. Keep in mind that buying on margin is considered to be high risk and high reward. Always be aware of this elevated risk when pursuing those elevated rewards. But with that elevated risk comes more leverage, bigger trades, and greater earning potential. Whenever you're ready, the benefits of margin power are waiting for you. Thanks for watching.